Hey everybody, Aaron Dillon here, Managing Director of AG Dillon & Co. We're a venture capital firm focused on pre-IPO companies with investment funds for individual investors, family offices, financial advisors, and institutional investors. All right, I got a pre-IPO company update here for you for the week ending 14 April 2023. Today we're going to hit on big company news from Reddit, OpenAI, and we got some IPO activity, believe it or not. And of course, we got Tyler's Corner in there too. Large capital raises for the week and individual pre-IPO company stock update performance. Let's get into it. Okay, Reddit, the social media platform, will start to impose a paywall around its API. The change is specifically focused on limiting AI companies from scraping Reddit's platform for data to train their models. Steve Huffman, Reddit CEO, said the Reddit corpus of data is really valuable, but we don't need to give all that value away to some of the largest companies in the world for free. Pricing for the new service is yet to be determined, but I anticipate it will not be cheap. And in similar news, Elon Musk, Twitter CEO, threatened to sue Microsoft over Twitter data being used to train Microsoft AIs. Musk is also in the process of starting his own AI shop, Truth GPT, to counter the OpenAI business, who is a strategic partnership with Microsoft. So I got an eye on I got an eye on this Twitter kind of Microsoft tie-up. AI is our major focus of venture capital firms, and a ton of capital has gone into AI startups over the last several quarters. It'd be interesting to see what the data pricing will look like from a social media companies to train these AIs and how that impacts startups, including how much capital they need to raise to be able to get their businesses to market. Reddit's last primary financing round was in August of 2021 at a $10 billion valuation. It scraped an IPO in December of 2021 at a $15 billion valuation. But based on secondary market trading activity from my buddies over at 8View, I have the company at a $7.1 billion current valuation. Okay, OpenAI, the AI research and development company, completed a $300 million tender offer this week to provide employees liquidity in company shares. The tender valued the business at $27 billion. OpenAI originally started as a nonprofit but reshaped itself into a for-profit business. The for-profit entity is a limited partnership. It's OpenAI LP versus a corporation, which is with the legal structure that most startups go with and most venture capital firms prefer or require. This tender offer shed some lights on what shares an OpenAI can look like for the secondary market investors. All right, so investors in the tender offer purchased rights to future profits rather than traditional equity. There is a cash waterfall for future profits to consider too. First, the original investors get paid back, and my research has this number at $2 billion. Next, Microsoft gets 75% of profits, while other investors get 25% of profits for the next 10 billion in profit. And then once that $12 billion has been eaten through, Microsoft gets 49% of profits, other investors 49, and OpenAI nonprofit gets 2%. So that's very different. There is also a 100x cap on what each investor can earn from their investment. However, that cap increases by 20% annually starting in 2025. So I don't ever see that being an issue for any investor. That's going to compound quick. I think that number is going to be way too big for OpenAI to catch up with. And it's going to be interesting to see how OpenAI actually trades or kind of manages this going forward. Typically, startups do not generate a profit as they're driving new revenue growth, kind of acquiring new customers, or driving new product development, which I think will probably be the case for OpenAI. I can see the scenario where OpenAI is generating billions in annual revenue, but it's still running at a loss due to expenses, so no money to distribute. That being said, I expect OpenAI LP shares to trade like other pre-IPO stocks in the secondary market. Believe it or not, publicly traded partnerships are a thing. Examples include like Blackstone Group with ticker BX, Brookfield Renewable Partners with ticker BEP, and Energy Transfer LP ticker ET. Okay, we have three IPO announcements this week. Believe it or not, IPOs have been dead for like the last 2 years. Here we go. Rippling, the employee management platform, is eyeing an IPO. Parker Conrad, Rippling CEO, believes an IPO would fulfill an implicit agreement made with the startup's investors and employees to provide a meaningful exit. Rippling raised at a $11.8 billion valuation in March of 23. SeatGeek, the live ticket exchange platform, filed for an IPO. It's the company's second attempt to IPO in the last 2 years. The first was a SPAC that fell apart last year, so I guess that's not an IPO; it's a merger, right? But you get the drift. We're trying to go public. SeatGeek last posted a $1.3 billion valuation in June of 22, and Chia Network, a software development and blockchain company, filed for an IPO. Chia already has a cryptocurrency XCH that trades on a crypto exchange. This is the first business I've seen that has shares of a cryptocurrency trading that are also trying to go public. So XCH has a market cap of 292 million, and Chia, the actual company, like the legal entity, owns about 75% of XCH. So this is like really odd to me. So like again, there's like shares of Chia already trading, but then there's going to be shares issued from its C corp on a traditional stock exchange. So they had a $455 million valuation at the last primary round in March of 2022. Okay, now some research from Tyler Siconolfi, an AG Dillon & Co. research analyst. Tyler's got 3 notes for us today. Epic Game, the creator of Fortnite video game and Unreal Engine, acquired Brazil-based game company Aquarius. Aquarius is one of the leading video game developers in Brazil and Latin America. The move aims to expand Epic Games' presence in Latin American countries. Plaid, the payments infrastructure platform, has partnered with Finastra to streamline the linking of financial accounts with other fintech apps and platforms on the Fusion digital banking platform. At SpaceX, the space payload and satellite internet company, attempted their first orbital test flight of their new Starship spacecraft just yesterday, on Thursday the 20th. Starship cleared the launch platform and flew for over 2 minutes, but before experiencing a rapid, unscheduled disassembly, or a RUD, which is just a fancy way of saying exploded. The SpaceX team, including CEO Elon Musk, was very happy with the test, as their primary goal for the flight was to simply get the rocket off the ground. Starship was the largest rocket to ever be launched from Earth. It's over 40 stories tall. That is very big. It's got a 5.5x the payload capacity of the Falcon 9 rocket, the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, which is scheduled to go up no less than 100 times this year and land their booster back on Earth. SpaceX approach to spaceship and kind of rocket development is the test, fail, learn, and repeat. That gets rockets through fast. The company's first rocket, this is comparison to see maybe what could be coming forward for Starship. The company's first rocket, Falcon 1, they're on Falcon 9 now, right? Had 3 launch attempts or launch failures in 2026 before it had a successful 4th and 5th attempt, and then they moved on to the Falcon 2. So 3 failures for Falcon 1, the company's first rocket, before they had a successful orbital launch. I anticipate we'll probably see something similar for Starship here from SpaceX. Okay, big capital raises for the week. We got 2 new unicorns this week. Clear Street, a cloud-based prime broker, raised a $435 million Series B at a $2 billion valuation, a 215% increase from its $635 million valuation Series A in November of 21, 18 months ago. Prism Capital led. Altruist is an independent wealth management, brokerage, and custody platform, raised a $112 million Series D at a $692 million valuation, a 15% increase from its $840 million valuation Series C in November of 21, 18 months ago as well. Insight Partners led for Altruist. And so not quite $1 billion, but I'm going to give it to them because I know those guys and they're good people. 3 other notables: Spring Health, a digital mental health platform, pulled in $71 million for a $2.5 billion valuations for its Series C round. Curly is a South Korean food delivery platform, posted a $2.3 billion valuation. That's a 30% decrease from its $3.3 billion valuation Series G in December of 21. So that's a down round 17 months ago. Anchor Equity Partners invested. And ID.me is a platform that provides merchant discounts for military students, government employees, etc. Locked in a $132 million Series D at a $1.6 billion valuation. Okay, last up we got pre-IPO stock performance. Pre-IPO stocks were flat at 0.04% for the week versus the S&P 500 up 0.79%. Year-to-date pre-IPO stocks were still trail the S&P by about 20%. Only 3 of the 15 pre-IPO stocks in the index are up year to date. OpenSea's up 2.31%, Revolut's up 1.26%, and N26 is flat. 5 stocks are down over 20% year to date. Discord, Airtable, Flexport, Epic Games, and Chime. Chime's down almost closer to 30%. Secondary market trading activity is totally dried up for OpenSea with their new competitor Blur hitting the scene where they're doing no commission or kind of no transaction fees. So I would not put much onus on that 2.31% number. It's probably even lower than that. Brex has a nice week, had a nice week for the week. It's up 1.04%. SpaceX was up 0.91%. Big Games was a big loser for the week, down 4%. All right, that's it for this week. If you have any pre-IPO stock research needs, please reach out. I'd love to dive in with you. We also have one fund open right now for investment, the SpaceX only exposure. Visit agdillon.com/SpaceX. Big gains for Starship this week, as we covered, and the company's satellite internet business, Starlink, is scaling fast. So it's a great entry point to get into SpaceX, in my opinion. We've raised over $3 million to date, and we aim to close the fund any day now. So if you want to get in, now's the time to do it. Thanks, and see you guys next week.